Faster My, good evening and welcome to the Manx Radio Folk Show with me, John Parker, playing you the best in folk and roots music from the Isle of Man and from all around the world. Well, next week sees the start of Yn Chruinnaght, and the first concert in Peel is next Monday night, and it is the wonderful Rura playing at the Centenary Centre. From their album of 2015, Despite the Dark, this is The Glorious 45. Well, that was Rura, who are playing at the Centenary Centre next Monday night as part of Yn Chruinnaght. On the Tuesday night, at the Masonic Hall in Peel, it's the Song Night, Yn Chruinnaght, and one of the performers there will be Annie Bayliss from Cornwall. Here's a track by her called Puis Adieu.
Greva glow, skin colon and bones, gueres then, rep gueres, well there's in ons them when, since seeing colon and down, and less bis them birth, propose any worries, gans pop nelly a gig when quiver is dealing 3, and glogglin less. Since in battle brass pure we then real we you have again they have fatal get in the angry then they will leave it's only on scathion re scathion and re bras alcohol aga welly miss inside a gun as one down the column straws paddle work helps also like Holland I girl Millville the inside us one in tear and me and care
Don't forget you can listen back to all of the previous folk shows I've presented by finding them on the Manx Radio website under the podcasts or indeed go to Apple Podcasts. And a recent one of those had me talking to Joe Collister and Chloe Woolley about all of the wonderful acts appearing at Yn Chruinnaght next week. Next, a track by the band Tongue, that's with 2 U's, Tuung. They had a new album out this year called Love You All Over Again, and this is Deep Underneath.
Upon the line, everything is good. You are blind to the days you'll find we are in your blood. Time is all you'll ever be. You'll be in our dreams before you find us.
Back to something much more traditional now. This is The Birth of Robin Hood by Spires and Bowden from their album Vagabond from 2008. That's a long time ago.
Oh, Willie's tall and Willie's strong, and he's born of high degree, and he has gone to Earl Richard to serve obediently. Earl Richard had one daughter dear, the fairest to be seen, and Willie fell in love with her, all in the garden green. Well, the summer's night was warm and still, and brightly shone the moon, when Willie met his sweetheart in the garden all alone. Oh, narrow is my gown, Willie, that want to be so wise, and gone is all my fair colour that want to be my pride. But if my father should find out what's passed between us two, before that he would eat or drink, he'd hang you over that wall, and come up to my bower, Willie, just as the sun goes down, and catch me in your two strong arms, and let me not fall down. So when the sun was setting low, he has gone up to her bower, and by the pale light of the moon, her window she looked over. All in a robe of red scarlet she jumped, fearless of harm. And Willie was tall and Willie was strong, and he caught her in his arms. Was done and day was come, and the lights began to peep. Well, up and rose the Earl Richard from out of his drowsy sleep. I dreamed a dreadful dream last night, God grant it come to good. I dreamed I saw my daughter dear drowning in the floods. So he's called to him the servants men, by one, by two, by three. Oh, what's become of my daughter dear? She'll not come to me. Oh, if that she's been stolen away or taken from this hall, I'll make a vow and I'll keep it true, I will hang you one and all. So they searched east and they searched west and they searched up and down. They found her in the merry green woods, nursing her bonny young son. He's taken the baby all in his arms and kissed him tenderly, saying, although I would your father hang, yet your mother's dear to me. He kissed him once, he kissed him twice, my grandson Ivy claimed. And Robin Hood in the merry green wood, oh, that shall be your name. many that sing of green, green grass and sing of golden corn. And there's many that sing of Robin, but know not where he was born. Well, it wasn't in the lofty hall nor in the painted bower, that it was in the merry green wood, all among the lily flowers.
Now, this next track really is from a long time ago. I started going to trad sessions on the island around about 1990, I think. Key figures at that time were Gilbert O'Sullivan and Sean Craig, and me and Tony Houston and Mary Malloy were fairly new on the scene at that point. I think the first sessions I went to were in the Bridge in Laxey, and then at the Glen Mona, and then we settled into the Coach and Horses, what's now the Doctors in Laxey, on a Thursday evening. One of the albums I bought at that time was by a band called Arcady, and it was called After the Ball. It was released in 1990, and from that album, this is Hennessy's. Staying with Irish music, here's Stockton's Wing with We Had It All.
There's a sailor gone to sea, only he knows how it feels as he bids a fond farewell to all his kin. As he walks along the shore, to his love he throws a rose. I'll return again in a winter or in spring. We had it all. We had the best of times. We had a life that dreams are made of. At the station she boards a train. She's all wet with tears and rain, and a father holds a mother's empty hand. Of all the things you need to know, she whispers as she goes, what I have I hold forever here in my heart. We had it all. We had the best of times. We had a life that dreams are made of. An old country lane where that wilderness still reigns, an old man, he takes a flower in his hand. How I've watched you bloom and fade, all that beauty you create. I'll take with me this pleasure as we part. We had it all. We had the best of times. We had a life that dreams are made of. We had it all. We had the best of times. Best of times. We had a life. We had a life that dreams are made of.
I do seem to be losing my voice while I'm recording this show, so I better not say much more, other than music happening this week as the usual sessions, which are, of course, O'Donnell's on Wednesday night and the Mitre in Ramsey on Friday night. There's the Folk Club on Thursday night in Ramsey, and Wednesday night has two other things happening. The Sailor Shelter has John Lightfield and Brian and Denise, and it's Blues Club. We'll see if my voice has recovered by then. That's at the Railway in Douglas, starting about 8:45 on Wednesday night, as I say. Here's a bit of blues for you. Muddy Waters, I Can't Be Satisfied.
Back no more. Going back down south, child, don't you wanna go? Woman, I'm trouble. I be all good mine. Well, babe, I just can't be satisfied, and I just can't keep from crying. Well, I feel like snapping, pistol in your face. I'm gonna let some graveyard lord be her resting place. Woman, I'm trouble, I be all wood mine. Well, can't never be satisfied, and I just can't keep on crying. Baby. Hear my doorbell ring, looking for my baby. I didn't see not a doggone thing. When I was troubled, I was all worried mine. Well, honey, I could never be satisfied, and I just couldn't keep on. Well, I know my little baby, she gonna jump and shout. That old train delayed me, Lord, and I come walking out. I be in trouble, I be all worried mine. Well, honey, ain't no way in the world for me to be satisfied, and I just can't keep on crying.
Last week I played you a track from The Gloaming and their album The Gloaming 2. And I said I'd play you another one. This is The Booley House. And I'll follow that with Mary and the Soldier by Andy Irving and Paul Brady, so I don't have to do any more talking.
Come all you lads of Fiery Noun that would hear of a fair young maiden, and she rode out of a summer's day for to view the soldiers parading. They marched so bold and they looked so gay, the colours flying and the bands did play, and it caused young Mary for to say, I'll wed you, my gallant soldier. She viewed the soldiers on parade, and as they stood at their leisure, and Mary to herself did say, at last I found my treasure. But oh, how cruel my parents must be to banish my darling so far from me. Well, I'll leave them all and I'll go with thee, my bold undaunted soldier. Oh, Mary dear, your parents love, I pray don't be unruly, for when you're in a foreign land, believe me you'll rue it surely. Perhaps in battle I might fall from a shot from an angry cannonball, and you so far from your daddy's hall, be advised by a gallant soldier. And I have 50 guineas in bright gold, likewise a heart that's bolder, and I'll leave them all and I'll go with you, me bold undaunted soldier. So don't say no, but let me go, and I will face the daring foe, and we'll march together to and fro, and I'll wed you, my gallant soldier. And when he saw her loyalty, and Mary so true-hearted, he said, me darling, married we'll be, and nothing but death will part us. And when we're in a foreign land, I'll guard you, darling, with my right hand, in hopes that God might stand a friend to Mary and her gallant soldier.
It's just struck me that it would seem appropriate to play some Tom Waits. So here's a beautiful song by him, Lullaby.
Sun is red, moon is cracked, daddy's never coming back. Nothing's ever yours to keep. Close your eyes
Next two tracks are The Tree of Life by Emar and All Shall Be Still by Salthouse.
when you're stuck at your table with the sun outside your window. Inside your head is all clattering and banging, and the brambles grow around you every day. All those voices shouting louder, you wonder why the foolish pride. On the crowded train with a broken plastic speaker, from the noisy streets and bars you hide. You're seeking calm, you're seeking calm, for where you will all shall be still, all shall be still, shall be still. Through the queues in the morning you must travel as well, but you hear that voice from the old woods calling? You don't need this daily hell. You're seeking calm, you're seeking calm, for where you will all shall be still, all shall be still, shall be still. Politicians are arguing over numbers and names. Their lives are lost when the waves come roaring. When all is said and done, the land they're fighting about, they're tearing and they're burning, while the people are living on the land's the same. In the same river twice. Change is all I can guarantee. Kindness is always nice. Kindness is always right. Kindness is always. Now the winter is falling and the wood's running low. It's down the road where the snow lies the deepest. The sharpest thorn bears the sweetest fruit. You're seeking calm, you're seeking calm, for where you will all shall be still, all shall be still, shall be still.
Well, I've got time for one more track, and that's going to be a 1970s classic. I Want to See the Bright Lights Tonight by Richard and Linda Thompson. I'll be back next week to play you more folk and roots music from the Isle of Man and from all around the world if my voice is spared. I hope you'll join me then.